For that, we were made to pay the penalty. So 24 years ago, right from, we have a history of 5,000 years. I don't want to go back because I can give only 10 minutes to speak on a 24-year plight. And every community member has suffered. And I don't have to remind them again and again about what has happened in the past. But at that point of time, when Azadi, we want Azadi, Kashmiri Pandits go back, all Indian occupants, those who call themselves as Indians, you go back. Go back where? Kashmir is an integral part of India. This is what I believe and I presume and I trust that every Indian should agree, and we are. But we are asked to leave our own country, leave our own homeland, where we have taken birth and where we have studied, where we have been brought up. And one fine night we were asked to go. And nearly 3.5 lakh people left, ran for their lives, not knowing about their brothers, not knowing about anybody, but they ran out of Kashmir. And we thought that the whole nation will shake. We thought the government will crumble. We thought everybody will get this thing. But sorry to tell you that we were living in fool's paradise. For about 6 months, we struggled on the footpaths, on the roads, wherever we found place. And there was nothing concrete coming from either the central government or the state government. There's no question about the state government taking care of us because they were in hand in glove with the then terrorist regime and the terrorists who had made them. Anyway, we are Indians and we would like to share our thoughts and plight with our fellow Indians all over the country and tell them, create an opinion about our own country. This is a long story. To cut it short, we have been neglected totally by the center and by the state. We were promised, several promises were given. This is all humbug. They were not serious about it, neither the state government nor the central government. Central government, they cannot displease the state government because they are in league with them. They are an ally of UPA. And the state government will not bother about us. And they are very happy without Kashmiri Pandits, without the original inhabitants of Kashmir, they are in all that. And this struggle is going on. Palan Kashmir is one of the oldest and the first organization, federal organization, which took shape then and came out with several distinct and struggle. But the struggle will continue through Palan Kashmir, through other organizations all over the country, and we are not going to give up till we go back as Indians and settle back in our own place. There is no doubt about it. That's why we are going from place to place and all that. To tell you certain things. Of late, you must have seen in the documentary, 500 odd temples were razed, were destroyed in Kashmir. Again, people will say that it's an old story, everybody knows about it. But all that we wanted to know, all that we wanted to protect the shrine, temples, and all that there, but they have been razed to ground, they have been destroyed, and they have been grabbed. And we could not do anything, we could not go back. We could only make a plea to the government and ask them, why don't you pass a bill? See, you will be surprised to know that even the Muslim, all the Muslim shrines and all that, they are all coming under Waqf Board, where they get grants, where they get protection, where they get everything. Even the minority Sardardis, the Sikhs, they have a Gurdwara from the committee. And all that we wanted them to have a bill passed in the list where we can protect these temples. We have a committee, we have people who can go and do this. This is pending for the last 4 years, though the bill was placed but not taken up for discussion. And every time they give one reason or the other, and the recent one was that it will be, given to a select committee. And this is the idea is that they don't want the Hindu Pandits, Kashmiri Pandits to be the members of that list. They want to have Muslims, they want to have other community people to look after the Kashmiri Hindu temples, which have been grabbed, destroyed and razed by them. So these are all delay tactics and also avoiding the Kashmiri Pandits' demands, or not it's not a demand, it's a genuine right. So this is the recent example of what's happening now. Now I will tell you one more thing. There is no representation of Kashmiri Pandits. Though we are in minority, we don't have the strength to send somebody to the assembly and all that. And there is a provision of MLC and all that. Though recently we had a couple of people, Pandits, who have gone as this thing, but nobody was given even the ministerial post, just for the sake of it. You see, we are in Karnataka for a long time, and we see every community, every minority, everybody has been given some representation, either in the cabinet or in this thing, but here, no, sorry. And for last 5 years, there are 2 Kashmiri Pandits who are asking, give some representation, at least for namesake, nothing. They are unmoved, and there is not a single Kashmiri representation in our district. They can do it, but they are not doing, they don't have the will, they are only having lip sympathies, they give tall promises, they say we'll do that thing, they say we'll do this thing, then entrepreneurs, wo karo, appoint karo, ye karo, nothing is happening. Let me tell you, they are turning a blind eye, and nothing is happening as far as this is concerned. Recently, I tell you, one more package was there, that was Prime Minister's relief package. They said, okay, Prime Minister went there, gave a lot of speeches, promises and all that. Then, you know, with the displacement, thousands of people, thousands of our brethren, they are still in subhuman conditions, living in Jammu. Of late, recently, some quarters were given to them and all that, not to all, but to select people and all that. For that also, they had to struggle, stand in the queue, and get influence and all that, not just because they deserved and they got it. That was also, after great struggle and fight, they got it. So at that point of time, the Prime Minister said, okay, we'll give employment to all the Kashmiri Pandits who have become overage because of all these things, because they were deprived of education, they were deprived of everything. No money, no financial this thing. And they said, okay, state government will give 3,000 jobs to Kashmiri Pandit youth and 3,000 will be by the center. And you know what happened? The state government suddenly told them, no, we don't have money, we don't have funds, we don't have budget, we will not be able to execute your promise. They told the PM. And the PM said, okay, out of our own quota, you absorb some people, and 1,400 people were absorbed, and remaining are still vacant. Though there are a lot of people standing in the queue, and that was a great struggle, they are not filling up these posts. The government of India is sending a lot of money to them, they are not spending on the rehabilitation and relief of Kashmiri Pandits. Every time we are asked to, go away, nobody cares for us. There are, 5,000 people, according to the reports, 5,000 people gave consent that, okay, we'll go back under the package program, we'll go back and all that. But, according to the report, and on record, only one person has gone back. What happened to the 4,999, nobody knows. All those people who gave consent, nobody knows. This is all for reading out statistics in Parliament and in the Assembly. There are no confidence building measures taken up by the successive governments to build the confidence among Kashmiri Pandits so that we can go back with honor and dignity. So friends, we are here, we have got Mr. Ashwini Prangu, we have got Mr. Chakravarti, who is an expert on Kashmir, who has been a journalist and who has done a lot of studies on Kashmir. But what I am trying to tell you is that, one more example, one terrorist called Bitu Karate, he confessed in open that I killed 35 people, 35 Kashmiri Pandits I killed, he confessed. And you know what happened? The trial ran for nearly 5-6 years. And after that lack of prosecution, they said there is no evidence. Though he confessed in public and he was exonerated. Today, he married a KAS officer. He was rewarded with a KAS officer because a lady who married her, she is living openly, moving around and all that. And with these things, how is it possible? What is the government of India saying? What is the government of Kashmir, J&K doing? They are all misleading the public, misleading the nation, misleading everybody. Now, of late, the recent, Mr. Ashwini Prangu will talk in detail on this. Recently, what they are now trying to bring in, all the terrorists who have crossed over the borders, Pakistan for training and other things. There are thousands of Kashmiri youth, Kashmiri Muslims who have gone across the border for training. Now, the recent one is to bring them back, rehabilitate them honorably. And this talk is going on. They are trying to pass an official order on this so that they can bring them back, either sneak them in through Nepal border or something. If this thing happens, this is going to be disastrous. This is going to be disastrous for India. This is going to be disastrous for every Indian. If such large number of people, terrorists with training capabilities, they come inside and settle in Kashmir, because Kashmir is out of bounds for Indians, but India is not out of bounds for Kashmiris who are living there. They can move freely. We have no problem about it, provided they call themselves Indians and they behave as Indians and they don't interfere in this thing. This is what I'm telling you. This is the truth, naked truth about the whole thing. 24 years passed, nothing has happened. We are still in the same thing. Based on our friends like him and others here, we have got a lot of support from the locals. We are very thankful to local people here for supporting us in every cause. Whenever we went to them for education cause or for health cause or for anything, they have all helped us. They have realized this thing, but we would like to create an awareness among every Indian so that this issue is will become dear to every Indian and every Karnataka. With this, I close my speech here, and I wish you all the best. Thank you very much.
I request Mr. Ashwini Kumar Sarangu, President Pannu Kashmir, to come on.
On the issue, I would like to know whether you would like my speech in Hindi or in English. I can speak in these two languages. I would have been fortunate to speak in Kannada, but I don't know. Which language you would like? Is that a consensus or is that a sectional demand? I believe it should be. Okay. व्यासपीठ पर बैठे हुए हैं श्री चक्रवर्ती जी, श्रीमान आर के मटू साहब, श्री सागर जी, मेरे सारे दोस्त और सभा में बैठे हुए प्रबुद्धजन। There is a special context in which I told you whether I should speak in English or Hindi. The connect that I would like to make between you and me emphasizes that there should be a language that is not foreign. So, in order to make a connect on a particular issue that will explain the relationship between Kashmir and Karnataka, you and me, the nation of Kashmir, I would like to opt Hindi for some time. मैं बहुत बार घूमता रहता हूँ दुनिया भर में, हिंदुस्तान में, इधर उधर हर जगह, तो एक आवाज जरूर आती है और एक क्वेश्चन खड़ा हो जाता है, हम आपके हैं कौन? आप हमें ये बता रहे हैं, आखिर हम आपके हैं कौन? सबसे पहले तो मैं ये बताना चाहता हूं कि आप आपके कौन हैं, फिर मैं ये बताता हूं मैं आपका कौन हूं, और फिर आप बताएंगे आप मेरे कौन हैं। मैं कुछ नहीं बताऊंगा, सब आप बताएंगे। शुरुआत एक उद्घोष से करते हैं। I will give a slogan and I would request all of you to respond to it. जिस कश्मीर को खून से सींचा, वो कश्मीर हमारा है। I did not tell you what you should say. ये आपने खुद ही फैसला किया और ये कहा वो कश्मीर हमारा है। आपने ये भी नहीं कहा वो कश्मीर तुम्हारा है। आपने ये भी नहीं कहा वो कश्मीर मेरा है। आपने कहा वो कश्मीर हमारा है। This is the connect. This is the connect. वो कश्मीर आपका है। ये आपने खुद कहा, ये मैंने नहीं कहा। और आपने क्यों कहा वो कश्मीर आपका है? when Mr. R.K. Muttu was speaking from the days, I made a point and convinced myself that should I speak on the issue of Kashmir, Kashmiri Pandits, or not. My conclusion is that I will not speak on the issue of Kashmir and Kashmiri Pandits. I am here on a national mission. I will speak on the national mission only, in context of Kashmir. So what is the connect that made you say वो कश्मीर हमारा है? कश्मीर हजारों सालों से भारत का अंग रहा है। कश्मीर कश्यप भूमि द्वारा बसाया हुआ है। आपने पढ़ा होगा, जाना होगा कि एक बार माता सती अपने पिताजी से नाराज होकर के हवन कुंड में कूद गई। उनका शव लेकर के शंकर भगवान आकाश मार्ग से उनको कहीं ले गए। जहां जहां रास्ते में उनके शरीर के अंग गिरते गए, वहां वहां आज बहुत बड़े तीर्थ स्थान है। फॉर एग्जाम्पल कामाख्या देवी का मंदिर आसाम में है, नैना देवी का मंदिर जहां उनके नैन गिरे थे वो हिमाचल प्रदेश में है। जहां उनकी ये छोटी वाली उंगली गिरी थी वहां चीची माता जम्मू के पास में एक जगह है, वहां इसी प्रकार से फिर कश्मीर में जाकर के, उन दिनों कश्मीर नाम नहीं था कश्मीर का, वहां पर उन्होंने माता सती का जो बचा हुआ शव था वो उन्होंने वहां सर में डाल दिया। वहां एक पानी का तालाब था सारे कश्मीर में और उसका नाम पड़ा था सती सर। अब भगवान शंकर के साथ आपका क्या रिश्ता है और माता सती के साथ क्या रिश्ता है और कश्मीर के साथ क्या रिश्ता है, ये आप तय करिए। हमारे यहाँ किसी का गोत्र नहीं पता होता है तो उसे ये बताते हैं कि आप कश्यप गोत्र कहिए, और ऐसा हमारे यहाँ भी है। किसी का भी गोत्र ना पता हो तो उसे कहते हैं कश्मीर, आप कश्यप गोत्र मान करके चलिए। दैट इज ऑल्सो अ रिलेशन बिटवीन यू एंड अस। भगवान श्री कृष्ण स्वयं महाभारत के युद्ध के पश्चात कश्मीर आए और उन्होंने इस दुनिया की पहली महारानी को वहां सिंहासन पर बिठाया। महारानी का नाम था महारानी यशोमती। यह आपका दूसरा संबंध है, क्योंकि कर्नाटक की भूमि के साथ श्री कृष्ण का भी संबंध है, उस पर खुलासा नहीं करेंगे। आगे चलकर महाराजा अशोक स्वयं श्रीनगर का निर्माण करते हैं, जिसको आज हम श्रीनगर कहते हैं, जम्मू कश्मीर की राजधानी। और उसके बाद में लंकादित्य मुक्तापीड कश्मीर के एक बहुत बड़े राजा सम्राट नाम से हो रहे हैं आज से 1400 वर्ष पहले, और उनकी भूमि का एक हिस्सा गोवा और कर्नाटक और बीजापुर और गोलकुंडा से झो करके जाता था। यहां तक उनका राज्य था। इतना ही नहीं, उसके तुरंत पश्चात एक बिलहन नाम के कवि कश्मीर में पैदा हुए हैं, जो कर्नाटक आए हैं और यहां के राजा के यहां पर एक मंत्री रहे हैं, और उन्होंने कर्नाटक और कश्मीर के इतिहास से संबंधित एक पुस्तक लिखी है। उसका नाम है विक्रमांक देव चरितम। विक्रमांक देव उनका नाम था, जो यहां के राजा थे। और ये जो पुस्तक है, दिस इज द बेस्ट क्रॉनिकल अबाउट Karnataka's and Kashmir's history, and it dates back to 1200 BC. That is also a connect between you and me. There is a special connect that you have with me and I have with you. That is that a number of brave soldiers have given their blood in Kashmir and have got martyred in Kashmir. That is the relationship that you have with me. अब उन्होंने ये खून दिया क्यों वहां? क्योंकि आपने उनको कहा जिस कश्मीर को खून से सींचा वो कश्मीर, ये आपने कहा था। ये आवाज जो आपने अभी दी, ये तो केवल भारतीय विद्या भवन तक ही सीमित रही। होना तो ये चाहिए था कि ये आवाज इस्लामाबाद तक पहुंचती। जब आपने ये कहना था कि वो कश्मीर हमारा है। एक बार उस आवाज को बुलंद करके इस्लामाबाद तक पहुंचाएंगे। इसलिए एक बार मैं जरूर कहूंगा आपसे, जिस कश्मीर को खून से सींचा वो कश्मीर हमारा है। नहीं, अभी वो आवाज कराची से आगे नहीं जा पाई। इस्लामाबाद तो दूर, वो तो लाहौर तक भी नहीं पहुंची। जिस कश्मीर को खून से सींचा वो कश्मीर हमारा है। और कश्मीर वो जहां आप हर साल महादेव के दर्शन करने जाते हैं, अमरनाथ गुफा के दर्शन करके आते हैं। ये वो कश्मीर है जहां माता वैष्णो देवी स्वयं है, वो जम्मू कश्मीर है। और जहां संस्कृत का उद्गम उस भूमि पे हुआ है, संस्कृत साहित्य का उद्गम हुआ है, कवि शास्त्र का कवित्रियों और कवियों का उद्गम स्थान। एंड नॉट ओनली दिस, the 6 schools of philosophy have been given birth in Kashmir. Mahayana and Hinayana, Sarvastivadin school of philosophy of Buddhism has got birth in Kashmir. It is not only limited to that. The first grammarian of the world, Panini, was born in Kashmir. The first doctor of India who was able to create books on medicine, Charak Samhita, Charaka was from Kashmir. So, what is the connect between you and me is the relationship of past at least 5,000 to 10,000 years of written history. So, if I am talking about Kashmir, I am basically talking about you. I am basically talking about this nation. I don't know, there must be people who, when we talk about Kashmiri Pandits or we talk about Kashmiri Hindus, they may be saying that they are talking about themselves. They are talking about their own interests. But let me clarify. If Kashmiri Pandits are here, if I am here, I am the progeny of that great and warrior community which did not embrace Islam and which did not believe Indianness for the last more than 600 years. मैं उन वीरों की संतान हूं जो एक थप्पड़ के कारण, तलवार के कारण या प्रलोभन के कारण मुस्लिम नहीं हुए। सारे देश में देखिए, दुनिया में देखिए, इस्लाम की तलवार चली और कहां-कहां जबर से, जुल्म से, पैसे के लालच से या छोटे मोटे प्रलोभन देकर के लोगों ने धर्म बदले। हमने अपने जनेऊ नहीं छोड़ा, हमने अपनी देशभक्ति नहीं छोड़ी। और मैं उन वीरों की संतान हूं जिन्होंने 6 बार कश्मीर से निकलने के बाद में यह फैसला किया, नो, we have to go back to Kashmir, and they got settled in Kashmir. But unfortunately for all of us, the kind of a legacy that we created was antithesis of what Hindus did for the last 700 years. What Hindus did for the last 700 years as a general principle of exodus was that they left the northern frontiers and they came to the southern areas. That is the history of Hindus for the last more than 800 years. Right from Muhammad bin Qasim up to this time, what we have done, we have left northern and western frontiers and we have come to the southern parts. We also did as Kashmiri Hindus, but we did one thing that was not done by the other Hindus. And what was that? After every exodus, we decided to go back to Kashmir. We went to the north, which was the antithesis of what others did. That is why I call myself the son of brave people who did not succumb to what is generally called leaving those areas which are politically, strategically and defense-wise very important for our nation. There used to be a cry earlier that wherever Hindus got their population to the minority status, those areas would ultimately go out of India. There was a famous cry of 70s, 80s. but that what I lived in 90s and then thereafter. I do not need to dwell on that subject. And here Kashmiri Pandits, Kashmiri Hindus wanted to tell the whole world that look here, I want to live in Kashmir, we would stay in Kashmir, we would put Indian interest ahead of us because we are not the extension of Indian versus Kashmir, but we believe India is the extension of Kashmir's civilization and culture for all countries. Because Kashmir is the fountainhead of Indian civilization and culture. That is what I represent. I represent that culture, I represent that civilization, which is the fountainhead of Hindu culture, Indian civilization, and Indian ethos. So I represent what belongs to you. So I represent your strategic assets. I represent your defense assets. And that is Kashmir. Kashmir is not only a piece of land. Kashmir, for all of us, is beyond a piece of land. Now, in the political context and in the context of the security situation, let me clarify, Kashmir is the testing case. Not only for the Indian secularism, Indian democracy, it is also a testing case now, so far as the Indian might in the world is concerned. I do not agree with those who say India has gone behind. आप वो दिन याद करिए जब भारत के प्रधानमंत्री अमेरिका गए थे, सिर्फ 50 साल पहले की बात है, और अमेरिका के प्रेसिडेंट के पास गए थे, बाबा एक रोटी दो, ऐसा ही हुआ था ना? Only some 50 years back, our Prime Minister used to go to America and ask American presidents, Baba ek roti do. Only 50 years after that event, American president comes to India and asks Indian Prime Minister, Baba hame naukri do. Is it true or not? And we gave them 55,000 jobs to Obama. And I remind you, it was George Bush who only 8 years back, 9 years back, told the world that if there is inflation in their country, it is because the middle class of India is taking better food. Because we are taking better food, that creates inflation in a country that has trillions of economic growth per year, trillions of dollars of economic growth per annum. That is India. We are second in the world so far as population is concerned. I do not agree with this point of view that population is a bane, population is a boon. For example, there is a Holocaust and there is a nuclear Holocaust that kills whole of this world to the tune of 50% of its population. I will be thankful to those who created Hindus in this country and made our population at least 100 crores. दुनिया अगर आधी गिर जाएगी तब भी हम 50 करोड़ तक जाएंगे. Look at it from that point of view. So population is not always a bane, it is also a boon. It is a strategic asset, but it needs to be channelized, it needs to be given proper empowerment, it needs to be given proper education, it needs to be given proper economics. I do not agree with this, that we are defense-wise. We are the fifth we are fifth strong nation defense-wise. ये यूं ही चाइना हमारे साथ खिलवाड़ जो कर रहा है, खिलवाड़ तक ही है. They are not going ahead. They know if they are going ahead, we have also the capacity and capability to go ahead. Our missiles can reach Boston, we should know. Our missiles can reach Tokyo. Our missiles can reach Diego Garcia. Our missiles can reach Finland. That is the new ballistic missile that has been created by our scientists. India is not what it was 50 years before. India is a mighty nation, but most unfortunate सागर जी मुझे माफ करें, our politician is not honest. That is the unfortunateness that we are having. There is a general perception in this country that rot has created the Kashmir issue. That rot has created the displacement of Kashmiri Pandits. That rot has created what we see today as the monster of terrorism in Kashmir. Crying about terrorism is one thing. Dealing terrorism